Hi guys, so going to show you how you can create a piece of work digitally in the style of Benjo Arwas. As you can see from this example here, obviously it's something that would be really easy to do physically, just kind of ripping up various compositions of photographs. Perhaps it's the same model, it might be one where you convert elements of it to black and white, etc. Looking at printing out your photos on different papers so you're able to get lots of different textures. These are all things that you can experiment with to create a really nice outcome. I'm going to show you how to do it digitally, and then you can compare and contrast both methods and see what works best for you. So first thing I am going to do, I have Photoshop open here. I've got two images now. I've just got these from Pinterest. I've got two images that I'm going to look at, one colour and one black and white, just so you can see the contrast. And then I have some ripped paper sides here. All I did to get those was go into Pinterest and typed in ripped paper, and then you'll be able to get lots and lots of different ones that come up. So whether it is brown, it could be coloured paper, it might be graph paper, newspaper, etc. So these again are elements that you can experiment with. So the first thing I'm going to do is drag my image into Photoshop. It should open up, as you can see it here. Now you could go to File, New, create an A4 document and pop it in there if you wish, but this is just a really simple way to do it. So I've got my background image here. I'm then going to have my black and white image over, place that over, and I'm going just to resize it slightly so it covers my model. Hit enter, and then position it. So I'm relatively happy with the position. Again, when I start to kind of crop and cut my sections, I'll be able to move that. Now, typically you would want one of your sections to cut through the eyes, and then perhaps the other one to show the mouth. Again, these are things that you can work with, or perhaps if, like the example here, you've got some kind of really interesting top going on underneath, or some interesting background to give it a little bit more, then you can do that as well. But what I would recommend that you do is that you duplicate this layer, so that if you make a crop or a cut in any way, then you have a copy. Or you can do what I'm going to do here. Now I'm going to have a section for my first kind of ripped paper section. I'm going to use the lasso tool, and I can just draw on here the section that I want to cut. I'm going to go all the way around. Instead of cutting, I am going to copy, so I'm going to do Command C and then Command V, or edit copy, edit paste, and you can see here that this has now given me this section here without altering my original image at all. So I've got my cut section here, relatively happy with how it has turned out. I might want to move it up slightly. In terms of my photograph here, I want to make sure that I've got a kind of focal feature, so I want to keep her eyes or a section of her face, so bear that in mind when you're cutting out the different sections of your kind of layered image. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take in my ripped paper, and I'm just going to hit enter, and the one I'm going to choose, I might choose this top one here. So in order to select that and only that one, I'm going to go to my magic wand tool, and I am going to click on that layer. Now, if I had contiguous at the top here, if I had that unticked, it's going to select everything that is white in here, which I don't want. So make sure that that is contiguous, it's ticked, and it's just going to select everything in this section here. Again, I'm just going to do Command C, Command V to copy that. I can take the visibility away from there, and then I am going to rotate my torn paper here. Now, this is going to be almost like a little kind of jigsaw that you can do, so I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. I can hit enter, and obviously I want this layer to sit below my cut section. Again, I can then move and reposition that however I wish. So once I'm happy with how that looks, I'm then going to duplicate it, so you can either select all, copy and paste, or the easiest one to do is click and drag it to the little box with the plus at the bottom. It's duplicated that layer, and then I can pop that kind of roughly here. Say I want it like that. Now, if I then zoom in, I can see, so my pictures aren't of the best quality. Obviously, I've just got these as stock images off the internet. Yours will obviously be much, much sharper. I am then going to get my eraser tool, make sure I've selected the right layer. So I want to rub out a section of this first little bit of paper. I want to tidy this up slightly, make sure my opacity is high. I can rub that out, and then I'm going to do the same again to this one here. I can also rub out that little line there. And I have my section of paper, so I've got my torn paper there. And then all I'm going to do is exactly the same again for my second half. So I'm going to take the visibility away from here. I want the second half to be kind of from the mouth down, again all the way around. And again, as always, we want to copy, Command C, and then paste, Command V, so that if I want to edit it in any way, I want to change it up in any way, then I can. And I can just drag this down here. And all I'm going to do is duplicate again my paper layer. I can rotate that. So again, really, really easy. Obviously, you can change the type of rip if you want. You can obviously customize it to the look that you want to go for. Again, we need to make sure it sits under the layer. Duplicate that again, and kind of going to jigsaw it together to have it like so. And then zoom in, eraser tool, and I can tidy up that image there. And there you have it. You have your Benjo Arwas inspired piece of work. So again, have your images, experiment with whether you want it colour and black and white together. If you want 2 black and white, think about when you are shooting to have different compositions. So straight on you might have profile, you might be looking up, looking down. So these are all things that you can experiment with, which will help you create some really interesting manipulations.